after year, dreams are realised and legends are made in the world's oldest cup competition. From giant killers to genius, whether an everyman or icon, we continue to celebrate the cult heroes whose legacy is defined by a moment of magic in the FA Cup. Guiliano Grazioli scored more than 100 goals during a career forged in the lower echelons of the Football League. But it was his goal for Stevenage against Newcastle in 1998 that made him a household name.
I was at Peterborough United. I just returned from 14 months out with a broken foot. Barry Fry pulled me in the office one day and said Stevenage Borough would like to go on loan during the conference. And it was just literally within 2 or 3 games, the whole sort of world sort of exploded.
Grazioli's first goal in the competition secured a third-round upset at second-tier Swindon Town. Next up would be the opportunity for an even bigger scalp, a home tie with Premier League Newcastle United.
Non-league sides now, a lot of them in the conference are full-time, so there are professionals. Whereas back then, we were part-time. Literally, it was a Tuesday night training and a Thursday night training. We had painters and decorators who come in their overalls full of paint for training.
As the hype began to build, so did the tension between the two clubs. Due to safety concerns, Newcastle wanted to switch the tie to St James's Park.
Newcastle sent down safety officers to make sure the ground was safe enough for their fans. From around the country, we're here filming everybody, and it literally went on for hours. And, you know, we're not used to this. This is big. This is big news. When the back pages of all the newspapers, there's a big hype, you know, Newcastle aren't happy.
Newcastle failed in their attempts to move the tie to St James's Park, so the vociferous Toon army descended en masse to Broadhall Way. But Stevenage and manager Paul Fairclough were ready.
What we did do, we had a session where we trained, and he put the noise of the crowd through the speakers. So we trained with a load of noise. You get used to, you know, really having to shout at players, to, you know, hear the instructions, and just sort of get used to it. It was just manic. For 2 weeks, it was just crazy. And leading up to it, you start getting nervous because then you get your family, you know, I'm coming to the game, I can't wait, and I'm going to watch you on TV, and you're like, oh, this is the first time I'm going to be sort of live on TV. I remember pulling up at the stadium, and that was it. Fans were already around. You'll see all the Newcastle fans in around the town, and you see the stand that's been built up for them. It's like a little stand there now, and it just looked a proper football club. And then obviously the team sheet comes through, and you see there's, you know, Alan Shearer. This is what you dream of. This is, as a child, you want to be a professional footballer, to play against these players, and you're standing side by side to this man. Game kicked off, and within 2 minutes, Keith Gillespie ran down the line and put across him, who was there, you know, Alan Shearer, fantastic header. His first game back after, I don't know, 14, 16 months out. Everyone looked at each other and gone, oh, here we go. And then we just went into a zone where we had no fear. We had chance after chance. I had a goal disallowed. Cross come in. I think Neil Treble got a great header. And it was Shaka Hislop in goal and pulled off a great save, tipped over the bar. Oh, are we ever going to score? Because it was that many chances we had. And it was literally from the resulting corner. Gary put a fantastic ball in. I was on the edge of the 6-yard box and just got my head to it. And I remember just running and jumping into the fans, like into the crowd. And I remember it must have lasted for about 2 or 3 minutes. It was just because everyone jumped on, fan jumped on. And that was just, I could have cried. These are moments that you have to enjoy. And then when that final whistle went, even though we didn't win the game, it felt like we were champions. You know, it was a fantastic feeling.
The draw earned Stevenage a lucrative replay at St James's Park. But sadly ruled out through injury, Grazioli could only watch as his teammates were beaten 3-1. The striker, though, had left his mark on the FA Cup.
It's probably not one of the best goals I've scored because it was just a 6-yard header. But it was the greatest goal I could have ever scored because of what I've achieved out of it. I love my job, I'm really happy with my job, and it's great. But nothing beats that. You just can't get that. You can't replace that buzz that what you get on that football pitch gives you.